Hey there, and welcome to the Think Fitness Life podcast. We're fueled by the incredible clients who inspire us every day, allowing us to elevate their health and fitness journeys. On this show, you'll gain valuable insights from top professionals, hear inspiring transformation stories, and discover the knowledge and motivation to create your own best life. Let's dive in. As someone who has continuously used therapy as a way to heal and elevate my personal performance, I know wholeheartedly that you cannot always read the label when you're in the jar. And that's why it's so helpful to have a professional in your corner to talk to. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp to provide our listeners with the opportunity to work with a licensed therapist from the comfort of your own home. Receive 10% off your first month when you sign up by going to betterhelp.com/TFL. That's betterhelp.com/T as in think, F as in fitness, L as in life. And remember, you're not alone. There are people out there who can help.
All right, welcome back to the Think Fitness Life podcast. And on today's episode, we are diving into the topic of IBS, IBD, gut health. And one of the main players to keep those things at bay or to keep them healthy is the consumption of fiber. Many people do not get enough fiber in their diets. Research has shown time over time that the lack of dietary fiber in a diet leads to many diseases, dysfunctions, gut dysregulations. And many people are suffering day to day with GI issues, with gut health issues. It might not be a big issue, but there are many other diseases and dysfunctions that come from poor gut health. And it's time to take back your health, take charge of your gut health. Many of the foods we're eating today, high processed sugar, fake sugar, processed foods, they're destroying the healthy gut bacteria. We need to rebuild and understand how to feed the gut the right food. So we're sitting down with the creator of Bellway. Bellway is a fiber company, a fiber supplement company that is spearheading into the supplement world to change the game on fiber. Many people have heard the old traditional Metamucil or fiber supplements. We're going to dive into the reasoning behind why this product, why Bellway is going above and beyond and creating a superior product to really make it about pure gut health and not to add any other crap into it, but really leading the way for overall healthy individuals. The world of supplements is changing the game. Yes, we've always said that people need to get full whole foods. We understand that in this fast-paced world, that isn't always a reality. So with supplements, we can start changing the game. We can bring stuff on the go. We can add these in to get the same quality foods. You're going to see these companies stem up all the time. But today we're sitting down with Max Dresse, who has a passion for fiber and is going to talk about Bellway and what they're doing to change the game of your supplementation. Because normally when we hear of a supplement company, most people think, okay, we're going to get your proteins, your creatine, all this stuff. You guys took a different approach. You guys are strictly fiber. Walk us through kind of the idea behind that, because we know people need fiber. They don't get enough. And this is one of those supplements. It's easy to get it in. It's easy to drink, and you don't feel like you have to eat a bunch of fibrous foods.
So I will probably argue almost everybody who's listening to this podcast now is not getting enough fiber. Statistically, 95% of Americans don't get enough, and the FDA calls it the number one deficiency. And so you may be sitting here now and you think, oh, I'm eating healthy. Eric, I mean, do you think you're getting enough fiber a day?
Yes, I've actually I track a lot of that stuff. I mean,
Okay.
maybe not as much as recommended, but I do try to get enough fiber in through different models. That's one of the big things. When you said that stat, when most people don't get enough, years ago, I was like, okay, I have to get fiber in. But
Yeah.
because most people aren't getting enough. And I always tell people ask me what do I eat. I really eat like protein, a lot of fruits and veggies, and some rice and oatmeal. That's it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying, oh, I eat my fruits and veggies. I have a salad a day. I should be getting enough fiber. Well, the average salad has 2 to 3 grams of fiber, and we need 20 to 30 grams of fiber a day. So you would have to eat 10 salads a day to get to your daily recommended fiber. I can tell you, for me personally, I was on a keto diet. And we've tried keto, but you're cutting out all the carbs. I think it's a great, many aspects work in this diet, but I did it so extreme that I couldn't go to the bathroom for many, many days. And I then ended up going to the doctor, and I'm not pooping. I have stomach cramps. What am I doing wrong? Well, you're on a keto diet. Well, you're lacking the fiber. Go buy Metamucil and take that. I mean, now, so I went to the store, I looked at Metamucil and turned around and looked at the label. It's full of sugar, aspartame, artificial flavors. The list goes on and on and on and on. And I was, well, I just want the fiber. I don't want to be trapped with it. And so I couldn't find it anywhere on the market, and really a clean version of Metamucil. And that's how the whole thing started during the pandemic. And that's how Bellway was born. But I can tell you, you probably, like, I think this is the vast majority, 95% of people, they do not get enough fiber, and you don't know it. When you go to the bathroom, you probably don't know that you should be getting more fiber, because, I mean, how long, and ask yourself the question, how long do you sit on the toilet? If the answer is you sit there longer than 10 seconds, you're probably not getting enough fiber. Because if you get enough fiber, it'd be a very, very quick process, and you would actually feel great. And I can't really describe it. You really need to experience it yourself. When you get enough fiber, going to the bathroom, very pleasant, quick experience.
It's funny you say that, because a lot of people are going to listen to that and be like, "What do you mean?" Because it's true. You get regular. First of all, same kind. I don't know about you. Same time of day for me, and we're sub 10 seconds. Okay, you can move on. And you do hear, I'm sure people, and I've had roommates in college that they would spend 10, 20 minutes in the bathroom. Okay, well, is this at college? I was just studying this stuff. Is this normal? Is this not? But most people will hear sub 10 seconds, going to go, okay, hopefully that's a wake up call for them to be like, I need to get something moving, pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, how much is that? So 20 minutes a day in the bathroom. That's like, I just ran the math here on the phone. That's 120 hours a year that you're losing. So that divided by 20, you're losing 5 days a year on the toilet. So, I mean, okay, this could be a fun marketing campaign for us now that I think about it. We're giving you 5 days a year back when you take Bellway.
Your health.
Yeah. But the cool thing is, and I think that's why, so you asked me, why do we only do fiber? Yeah. Because I think, so when you, and I take other protein powders too, I take all sorts of other things. I mean, really, you probably know this firsthand. When you take a new supplement, sometimes it takes half a year for it to really start working. Sometimes you really need to take it consistently day over day until you feel a difference. The beauty about fiber, and when you take Bellway, is, I kid you not, you take it once and you probably feel a difference the day after. Maybe some people 2 days after, and the difference that you're feeling is when you go to the bathroom and you're done in 10 seconds and you feel great and energetic and you're just so much healthier. So that's what I love about it so much. And that's why I said, no, we're only doing fiber. I want people to take our products and feel it immediately.
And it's a smart move, because people do look for those fiber supplements, Metamucil. And I remember when I was a kid, when you bring up Metamucil, because I had trouble going to the bathroom, and I would have to sit there and eat those stupid Metamucil crackers, because that's what the doctor prescribed me to get more fiber. And because I was a picky eater as a kid, and I hated it. And now you go look back and you see what's actually in those. You think it's healthy because what's a doctor prescribed to you. And you're just kind of like, well, this is just kind of garbage. With a lot of other products out there that claim there's cereals, crackers, we have fiber. It's like, no, you don't. You have a little bit, but we really need to pack a punch, and you have to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, or it's very simple now to get it through supplements. Yours.
So, I mean, just to tell you how much crap is in these other fiber supplements on the market, you can, if you want to have the same amount of fiber, 5 grams of fiber, or as one scoop, the equivalent for some of these other brands would be 2 to 3 times the volume of powder just to get the same amount of fiber. And why? Because they're adding so much filler into maltodextrin, which some people think cause cancer now, and sugar and all of these things. So we really said, no, we boil it down to only the pure stuff. And we're using organic fiber. And I think there's so much education that still needs to happen for people to understand fiber is not just fiber. You want the good stuff for it to really work.
Oh, for sure. And a lot of those companies, I'm glad you mentioned, use the maltodextrin and all that to make it taste good. And you guys went with monk fruit, which is becoming a lot more popular nowadays as a sweetener in supplements. I don't know how it works is it pricey or more expensive than sucralose, but a lot of these companies are still on the sucralose, the maltodextrin.
Oh my
They're kind of
gosh.
having these fillers, and you see companies like yours starting to go, hey, we have a couple ingredients, it's sweetened with monk fruit, boom. And I always look at supplements as like, this is not going to taste the greatest. Protein powders, any sort of greens, but if you're not drinking it for the taste. You want it to be palatable, but it's not the worst tasting thing. But it's not drinking sweet. Like I think people get this like confused. Like they need to be drinking something. It's like, no, you're gonna get some fruit flavored in a shake, and then just drink it and go.
No, I mean, I think we want to, so many people everybody wants something delicious. Right. And I hear you, there's these greens powders out there, then some of them are really nasty. I don't know about you. I've been on AG1 maybe for 2 weeks, and then I read it's very disgusting. I can't take it. So, and that's why we really wanted to make it super, super delicious. And monk fruit is the closest thing to tasting sugar, and it's not artificial, and it has no sugar in it. So, but when you look at everything that adds with an O's, the sucralose, or with an L, xylitol, and all of these things that you would find in some protein powders. I mean, yeah, I get it. They want to make it sweeter, but these are ultimately chemical. These are artificial things that are made in a lab. And we now know that these things cause diseases further down the road, so that they can really ruin your gut. And I honestly wish there would be more protein powders out there that just don't add all of these nasty things. It's tough in the supplement industry. There's so much crap in there, and I think there's only a handful of brands that make it clean, and I think we're the only brand in the fiber space that make it clean.
And you mentioned that sucralose damages the gut per research, and people are thinking that they're taking this fiber to help the gut when actually there's things in it that's more damaging than it's actually going to be to pay to drink it. But it's the marketing behind these things. A lot of companies will push it and kind of not tell you what's in it, but hey, here's your fiber, here's all this. And the consumers go for the flashier stuff. They go for the stuff that looks bright colors, it looks this. And then I have clients that come to me all the time, and they're like, can you look at this supplement? Can you look at this drink? And I flip it around the ingredients. And I'm like, and we'll go through it with them. And it's just, hey, this is not good. And a lot of it's the sucralose. And it's even shown that people start getting kind of addicted to that sweetener because the body's not getting calories, but it's getting that sweet fix. And so what are we doing here with the supplement world or drinks that are supposed to be healthy? That I always appreciate companies that are true to absolutely the cleanest possible ingredients possible, because that's what I want to put in my body.
Isn't that a great story of the state of the medical industry in America these days? I think none of these companies really want to get you all the way healthy. They give you one component that's healthy, but then they're adding all these other components that are making you sick again. So you then stay in the cycle. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's kind of the bullshit that you want to cut through and just want to give you the good stuff without any of the nasty stuff that gets you hooked and addicted and ultimately gets you sick.
Of course. And that's really when taking this, it's sort of like what you're putting in is clean. So you feel better when you're drinking it. And then you let the effects kind of kick in. And one thing I did find kind of funny on the bottle was you kind of do give a disclaimer about going to the bathroom. And when I was working, I work a full day of training clients, and I was like, when do I take this? Because you never know. Sometimes newer supplements, if you take it certain doses, your body's like, hey, this is new. Let's see what happens. But nothing happened. I'm pretty regular. So it was just funny that you guys put that on the bottle. But, hey, this is going to help kind of clean you out, but also give you less bloat.
I mean, research is showing that many people have poo stuck in their guts for years, 2 years, but just stuck there. And when it's stuck there for too long, it can also cause cancers and all of these bad things. So you kind of want to clear it all out. And to your question, when do you take it? Honestly, you can take it whenever you want. You can take it in the morning, you can take it in the evening, during the day. I tend to take it before I go to bed. That's kind of my ritual. And we also know some people that are mixing it with their protein powder, because protein powders, depending on what kind of protein you take, especially if you take a plant-based protein powder, it takes more time to be absorbed by your body. And so some people combine it with our fibers because the fiber then slows it down in your gut and just giving your gut more time to absorb all the protein. Yeah, honestly, you can take it really whenever you want. I would say the only thing is if you're medicine, you kind of don't want to take it with medicine because the fiber traps excess poop, but it could also trap the pill that you may take. So we always tell people wait 2 hours before or after taking Bellway, and don't when you take medicine.
Interesting. I was going to ask about the protein because I have mixed my AG1s with protein powder in the past just to cut the taste. I've made some homemade, whatever you want to call it, juices stuff that it doesn't taste good, but it's healthy for me and it's all good ingredients. But it's good to know that you can kind of mix it in with protein shakes, mix it in with some other stuff to get a slowing down effect. You're allowing your body to maybe absorb more protein, but treat and really heal the gut if you do have any gut issues. And I think a lot of people have gut issues and they don't want to either admit it or kind of come to the realization that they're dealing with something that's going on. And the first real way to look is into fiber.
Oh yeah. I mean, so many people take probiotics when they've got issues, and then there's so many probiotics on the shelf and even online. I think the crazy thing about probiotics is that there are billions of different types of probiotics. I mean, what is a probiotic? A probiotic is essentially a good gut bacteria, and there's billions of different types that we haven't even studied yet. We don't know all these different types. So we only know, I would say, a handful of the big ones. And when you buy a probiotic, really, wherever you buy it, you probably buy only one of the few highly studied strains of bacteria, but your body has billions of different ones. So when you buy a probiotic, that probiotic may work for you, but it may not work for me. And so that's kind of the probiotics, it's not the perfect solution. And what do all the probiotics, all the good gut bacteria have in common? They all eat fiber. And so now let's flip the script. That's why so many doctors are now saying, well, maybe you shouldn't buy probiotics off the shelf. Maybe you should just feed the probiotics that you already have and make them grow and get more of those. And how do you make them grow? Is by giving them fiber.
It's funny because you people take it, probiotics, and they're probably going to go, okay, I'm going to take my probiotic. I'm good. Then they're going to go eat your generic American lunch or dinner that is going to destroy any gut bacteria that's in it. Or they're going to go and drink, let's say a diet soda or some sort of drink that's going to have sucralose and all this destroyed it. So it's like,
Yeah.
we really need to be fueling the gut first of all, rather than trying to replace it. Because there's a time and place to, I think, replace it. Obviously, it depends on the conditions, but then you have to fuel them, because that's the big thing, is feeding those gut bacteria. If not, then you get bad ones. And then you're just
Oh,
feeding the
yeah.
bad ones over and over again. And it's crazy to show that the bad ones will feed off of that sucralose and the sugar, and they'll send signals to your brain, hey, we want more, we want more. So are people really in control of themselves, or is it like gut telling them, hey, this is what we want?
100%, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's really, you need fiber. I think nobody's arguing that it's so difficult to, you definitely need a fiber supplement because it's so easy. And yeah, so now we just want to get more and more people on this train here, because also one other thing, the gut, we haven't fully understand how the gut works yet. I think this is still, now when you look at science, it's still a relatively young field, understanding how the gut is connected to everything else. But one thing that studies now can prove is there is a direct relationship with your brain and your gut. So if you, I mean, even think about this, and maybe your proper experience, when you're nervous, you get bloated, or you make a diarrhea or something because there's something, your brain is really telling you, oh, I'm afraid, or I'm nervous, or I'm stressed, or something. And it's all connected. So now more and more people are saying, well, if you get your guts back in check, also your mental health is going to be so much better. And I mean, according to the FDA, it's a fiber crisis in America. It's the number one deficiency. What I would almost argue, what if everybody got enough fiber? How many less issues would we have when everybody is more focused, more energetic, less anxiety, and all of these things? So fiber can really help with all of that.
And that stat was really what drove me to be recheck it. It was just years ago when it comes out, and fiber is a big indicator of overall health, cancers. And okay, let me do it. And I think I sat down, and 20 to 30 grams doesn't sound like a lot, but in reality, it actually is. Like we said, a salad, you're getting, depending on the vegetable, you're getting a few, but when people think of 20, 30 grams of protein, that's nothing. When you get 20, 30
Yeah.
grams of fiber, it's a little bit different. So it's almost your targeted meals. Every meal has to have some fiber. And then I went kind of crazy. This is kind of where I kind of had to pull back, is I went so certain vegetables, kale, spinach, I started high dosing that. Eating a lot of it, a lot of shakes, and I kind of would get actually really bloated from it. And I was doing more or less some of these plant proteins, but in the high dose, my body just didn't that much. I don't want to say fiber, but that much kind of greens, whether it was the oxalates, I've gotten to that stuff. So I do that. You guys have a powder. For me, it's simple because I don't feel I have to go get all that stuff in. Because when I was eating very, very lots of vegetables, my bathrooms were different. The consistency was very different. You could tell I was overdoing something. Then, similar to you, I also tried the keto thing, and I don't know how far you got, but I think I got 2-3 days in. And I was like, I need carbs. I need something. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I didn't get to any bathroom issues there. It was more or less just, okay, let's try it out. Let's see what happens. And there's that claim that you don't need fiber in a keto diet because of the ketones. But my thing is, how many people actually are getting into ketosis? So they're teetering that line where they still need fiber. And even I would probably say that if you're doing keto, you can probably take this product. It's not really going to throw you out of ketosis. Now, I don't know the research on it, but it's just going to help you on your journey.
I'm going to throw you, because I mean, I definitely have been in ketosis. I've done it, I would say, pretty almost religiously for almost a year. And yeah, I can, at least from my own experience, I can tell you, I needed the fiber. There were days, sometimes like weeks, without going to the bathroom, and that's not helpful. So yeah, I think with the powders, it's so easy. You just put it really into a shake or just into water. You'll find that's where, I mean, there's a lot of fiber powders up. on the market. And you kind of want soluble fiber, and that's the one that has all the health benefits. That's the one. So, for example, if you have high cholesterol, now we're legally allowed to make the claim that, yeah, this works. This can help your cholesterol. And so that's kind of the fiber that you want. Most of the fibers out there in the market, they're insoluble, and most of them ferment. So that's actually a very important point. So think about a beer fermentation process. And beer, when the hops ferment, it creates gases, and that's what makes the beer bubbly. And that's essentially what a lot of fibers out there do. You take fiber, there's all sorts of gummies and whatnot out there. You take a little bit too much, and you probably have to run to the bathroom immediately. You feel bloated. And so that's why we really chose psyllium husk as the fiber source in Bellway product, because psyllium husk is kind of the gold standard of fibers. Psyllium husk is the only natural fiber that is non-fermentable. And when you take Bellway, you can take it really whenever you want. You don't feel bloated. In fact, it helps you if you have building issues before. You don't have to run to the bathroom. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. They don't want to try a fiber supplement. We have people standing in stores and giving out samples, and customers then are worried, oh, do I have to run to the bathroom in my Walmart? No, that's not the case with this, because it's still in this gold standard. So you stay on your regular schedule. You don't have to run to the bathroom immediately. And even when you look at psyllium, you want to get an organic psyllium, which is what we're using, because if it's not organic, it can be 50% dust, earth, soil. So that's super important to know. I'm obviously a huge proponent of fiber in general, but if you really want the gold standard of fiber that doesn't cause bloating, you need psyllium fiber, organic psyllium fiber, which is what we have in our product.
All right, a quick step aside to hear from one of our sponsors. If you're looking to improve your nutrition game and get to those goals, Advanced Molecular Labs is dedicated to top quality supplements, whether it's for performance, recovery, sleep, or weight loss. They create supplements based on the latest scientific research. Many people have a supplement shelf in their kitchen, and just like us, we want it to be the best quality products that can support overall health each day. Check out advancedmolecularlabs.com and start getting your nutrition right. Yeah, and per scoop, it's not a crazy amount of fiber. It's not like your body's getting 30 grams of fiber at once, and it's, hey, pump the brakes here. I think a lot of people go overboard on that stuff too. I know I have on certain supplements that you go a little bit over. Not that it's a problem, but your body's like, hey, I don't need this. Let's kind of clear that out. It's gonna be like, hey, this is a lot, well, get rid of it. But yours is 5 grams per scoop. So there's been days where I've done 2 scoops morning and evening just to see how I feel. And if it's a day that mostly, if I know I'm traveling and there's not my regular eating options of fiber, I can supplement it throughout my travels and throughout whatever I need to. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do having these supplements, especially fiber, kind of on the ready for me in my regimen, because you never know when you just are going to need a little bit more. And I think when steering people towards more of a supplement versus food, of course, you and I are about whole foods first, but it just might work easier for someone that it's simple just to drink it and take 15, 20 minutes instead of trying to sit down and eat endless amounts of vegetables and fruits that at first they're not used to.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you when you're traveling, this is a lifesaver, because I'm sure everybody experiences this when they're traveling, like your guts is not in line. But then I think we're kind of the same. I try to eat organic, lots of fruit and vegetables every single day. But I probably only, when I check it, I probably only get 15 to 20 grams of fiber a day. And I'm missing, and every day I'm missing 5 to 10 grams of fiber. So you get fiber in your regular diet, but you typically do not get enough. that's really where you want to take a fiber supplement to get you just over that threshold of, okay, you're getting enough. And that's when you start feeling the difference. You need to really be over these 20 to 30 grams of fiber a day.
I mean, can you imagine if people aim for 20, 30 grams of just pure food? They would have to literally, and it's a good thing, right? They would have to take out all the crap that they eat in the day and fill that with fibrous foods, which for some people, that's going to be their go-to. But we know that most people aren't going to change that eating behavior that quick, or it's not going to stick. So I think with this standard American diet that we're up against, when you get things coming out like you're making, I know you have collagen too, and you have the fiber. It's people need to get on board with their overall gut health, maybe before some other supplements.
Oh, 100%. I mean, sometimes we're asking ourselves, who are these 5% of Americans who actually get enough fiber every single day? Well, we looked into this a little bit more, and we did some surveys, and we found all of these people that are getting enough, or many of them that are getting enough, they're vegan. These are the people that eat so many vegetables a day because they have to substitute the protein that we're getting from meat and dairy. They have to all get that from beans and tofu and all these. So they're eating so many vegetables that they're then ultimately getting enough fiber. But I mean, a vegan dieter, that's tough. And I think that comes with all of their all sorts of other issues, all sorts of other things that they need to substitute. So I think just taking fiber supplements, and obviously I'm biased, I should take Bellway Super Fiber, but surely it doesn't the cleanest on the market.
And you think with all these diets, we talked to keto, we talked to vegans, you kind of understand that you have to supplement something in, because if you look years ago, how kind of we evolved and ate, it wasn't always perfect. It would have been times of keto, but it would have been times of high fiber. It would have been depending on where people are. And I think people get lost in the realm of okay, I'm on carnivore, I can't have any of this. Well, of course you can. You need to supplement some of this stuff in ebbs and flows so your body can be metabolically flexible to it. There's
all about being well balanced. If you're only going in one direction, you're missing out on so many other things. And fiber is really the one thing that I think almost everybody's missing in any kind of diet.
Yeah. Even now when we travel almost into other countries, I go to Europe, you kind of see the same. There's not a lot of, especially in Europe, there's not a lot of fibrous foods. Their grounds don't really grow as much fibrous foods. I mean, yeah, potatoes and stuff, they live off that, but there's not a lot of extensive vegetables other parts of the world. So it's just interesting, how our bodies, especially from a gut health standpoint, needs that fiber to survive.
Oh, I can tell you firsthand, you probably hear my heavy German accent. I'm from Germany.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So
I come from potato land, the potato vegetable over there. And that's the only vegetable oftentimes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but that my family's from Germany, and that's where I was. So there's a lot of potatoes. There's not a lot of vegetables. I'm sitting here, okay, every meal's very the same.
But that's why my whole family is now taking Bellway too. And my mom even puts it into her yogurt. I know somebody who's making Bellway popsicles for his children. There's so many ways how you can get creative and just squeeze it in, whatever you're eating anyway. You don't just have to put in a glass of water, but that's kind of how I do it. In a glass of water. It becomes, you'll find when you take Bellway, it becomes a gel kind of texture pretty quickly. And you want it to become a gel. That's when you see it starts working. That's what I find so cool about fiber is you put it in a glass of water and you let it sit and you see the texture change. That's how you see, oh, this is not bullshit. This actually starts working. And you kind of want that gel type of texture to form in your guts, because then that gel is what traps all the toxins and it gets it out. So when you take Bellway, I would say put it in a glass of water, stir it up, and drink it away. And that's why we wanted to make it delicious, because we wanted to make something that people can really drink pretty much immediately. And because it's working in your guts.
I think it's one thing when I made it the first time, I put it in my shaker cup And I was expecting, I was expecting more something like AG1 where it mixes really, really kind of into this liquid. And I open the shaker cup and I see it on top and it's floaty, a little gelatinous. I'm like, okay. So I shake it again and I put a blender ball in and nothing really changed. And then the further I'm reading into the fiber world, the husk, all that, I'm okay. This is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of stay this, and it's just a different sort of texture in the liquid, but you can start to see like this is how mechanically it's going to work in my body. And if it were to almost go into this pure liquid, you'd be like, what am I really drinking?
I think that's how you can really tell that it's a good pure fiber when it changes its texture and kind of becoming a gel pretty quickly. So that's what we want.
But it's interesting. I'm gonna have to try that in yogurt because I've usually more of a shaker cup, drink it, but my nightly Greek yogurt, I'm gonna have to add that in and mix it in to see how that goes, because that might be a whole different world of flavor profile for my yogurt and health benefit.
Oh my gosh. So if you have a pure Greek yogurt, unflavored, you put a little bit of Bellway in there, you can immediately turn that into a raspberry flavored yogurt, but zero sugar. And so you get your fiber with it. So it's kind of like the hacks to making yogurt delicious.
It's almost like you're gonna get this gut health bomb all in one thing.
Yeah. And then the next day when you have your coffee and you go to the bathroom and it only takes 10 seconds. And what did we say? We're saving you 5 days a year.
And that's one of those things, kind of get back to that topic when clients we talk about everything because I'm trying to help them get healthy, and they'll come to me and be, hey, look, I'm constipated. I haven't gone in the bathroom. And the first thing we're looking at is what they're eating. And to me, because you and I, because once you get on a routine and your body gets cyclical, when it's going to come, you wake up, it's going to happen at a certain time of day. It's going to happen at a certain time in evening. It always fascinates me when people can, or they don't know when they're going to go to the bathroom, or I don't know when this is going to come. And do people really use this similar to Metamucil to help? If I took 3 scoops, would that help probably initiate the process of, hey, we got to move some stuff through?
100%. The crazy thing is our products work if you have issues with constipation, but also if you have issues with diarrhea. So that's probably the only product that can help with both. So there's a funny thing. It's called the Bristol chart. If you want to Google it, you'll see lots of different pictures of what your poop could look like. And there's a scale. You're having a very liquid or a very hard one. You kind of want to be in the middle. And we were approached by a startup, when was that, a year or 2 ago, and they had developed an AI software where on your phone, you can then go to the bathroom and you can take a photo of the toilet and then will tell you if you're getting enough fiber or not. We looked into it. You could have a funny marketing campaign because we could have exactly told you, oh, you need to take this many Bellway scoops to get you back in the normal range. We tested with some people, and I don't know, people just really didn't want to take a photo of it. That was too much for a lot of people. In case you're interested, Google the Bristol chart. You can if you're not in the perfect score, it really tells you need to pick fiber.
Yeah, well, with that, I think people, when they do look at a chart like that, they definitely start to worry because they're comparing what they see to what they're actually getting. And maybe one day that'll come along. Yeah, people are going to want to look at that, but they're going to want to know, is this healthy every day, that they can start kind of tracking something that's saying, hey, you're in the good, or this is not really where you want it to be. But it is interesting that you say the other thing, that it can kind of reverse diarrhea. I wish I didn't know. Last year I went to Europe and I got really food poisoning in Budapest. But my aunt in Germany, was just drink a German beer because of the fermentation. And I actually did feel better from that. But hopefully I don't get it again. But if ever happens again, I'm going to talk
about German. I just, yeah.
Like, yeah. I was like, my uncle's a doctor's mom was like, just drink beer. And I'm like, okay. But it's interesting though, because when you are sick like that, I tried. This is me being healthy and trying to put. I'm okay. I'm sick. It's coming out, but I need to drink more protein, and I'm drinking protein powder. It's just a disaster. But it's something like that where it's okay. Yes, you can have something on your shelf in your kitchen, and if you do have any sort of GI issues that's making things run fast, you could take this to help out instead of being like, I need to go see a doctor unless it's really bad. But there are those people that they're drinking, and I don't know, coffee doesn't really do it for me unless I drink really poor quality coffee, then it clears me out. But I kind of think of everyone every day that's drinking these regular poor quality coffees, and they're having GI stuff that's really, hey, maybe you just need to get a different coffee and start getting more fiber in, regulating yourself
100%.
through this.
Even protein powders. I don't know if you hear that from your clients. So many people have protein powders in their guts. I know a lot of people been getting diarrhea from protein powders alone. But yeah, the fiber can then help because especially if we're working out, we need a lot of protein. It's tough. It can be tough on your guts, but it's going to be fine if you take Bellway with it, for example.
Yeah. So for you, kind of the name Bellway, how did that come about? Because I was very curious because I've never heard of you guys until I looked it up. And I was like, oh, interesting. There's a lot of companies starting to come on stream from the nutrition world. And I think it's great because we kind of, in my opinion, we really got to kick out some of the old ones or the standard ones, the Metamucil, all this. What's kind of the behind the Bellway company?
I mean, we thought about this Bellway. It has belly in it. There's a way where it goes gentle through your gut, wellness in it. So that's how the name came along. Really, I think what we see now, people are looking for us as Bellway Super Fiber. We're really the super fiber company on the market. You can now find us in Sam's Club, Walmart, but also Sprouts, Wegmans, HEB, Public. So more and more stores, obviously on Amazon. But yeah, we're growing fast. We're the fastest growing fiber company in the space. And we ultimately would love to become the next Metamucil here and really democratizing fiber, make it clean, accessible for everybody.
Well, I always love to hear a good origin story of how the name came away because you do think about, when people hear that, they're like, okay, and then they see the name, they're gonna go, okay, I can now resonate with this. I understand that it's all here. Some people might look at it and be like, I've never heard of it, but look at this. This is something that I can take that's not gonna taste bad. It's not gonna really have crazy effects. I'm sure. Well, I don't know if you ever done the magnesium to go to the bathroom if you're constipated. You take the higher dose magnesium. Yeah, that stuff works, but man, that can work real quick, and it's you don't know when it's coming. But beside the fact, it's more just allowing people to get their daily fiber in and having the availability for it being on all these supermarket shelves.
Yeah, so you can really find us in a lot of stores or then go to Amazon and buy us there. But yeah, it's really, we're starting a fiber movement. We want more people to talk about fiber. Gut health, pooping is something that people have not been talking about. And I feel like of lately, we all do it normal and we all want to have a healthy poop and we can help you get there. So yeah, that's really, we need more and more people jumping on the fiber train here.
Yeah, because everyone needs to be aware of their gut health. They need to be aware of what's going on inside them. And because that's really the where health starts. That's the number one place it goes. And I stand by, I swear people, they will get a little nervous when you start talking gut health because inside they know if they're feeding the good gut bacteria or the bad gut bacteria, and your body tells you really, really quick which way it is. So it's really awesome that you guys are pushing this almost really, I know you have collagen, but this fiber narrative of, hey, this is where health starts and this is how you can start to heal your gut over time.
Yeah. I mean, so the collagen that we have is really super fiber with collagen. So you want to have the 2-in-1. When you take protein powders and you combine Bellway, that's the whole idea at 2-in-1. We have the only organic fiber gummies on the market that are vegan, made in the US, sugar-free. organic. And then we also have the only organic fiber capsules that are made in the US. So really, whether you in gummy form, in powders, in capsules, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get clean fiber.
And that's really the supplement world is really to make things simplified in a world that's moving really fast for people. Because over time, we have this conversation, we got to eat better, yada. But sometimes people just don't have the time. They're going to club sports, they're going here, they're going there. It's easy to have a shaker cup, to throw it in and mix it with a shake or blend it with something. That's usually the best way to get it. And most households now have a supplement cabinet, or they have a cabinet with vitamins. This is just one of those things. It's, yes, you're taking vitamins, but are they getting absorbed? Here's your question. Maybe you need to look at the gut first. And most people are probably wasting money on stuff that is not really getting absorbed because their gut health is not really efficient. And people hear about it, but I don't think they fully understand the true inner workings of gut health.
100%. But yeah, fiber is a great way to start. And I think you most likely fix all of your issues if you've had any. Or for most people, they don't even know that they have any issues. And then they get enough fiber and they're not, oh my gosh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. And yeah, I hope that all of your listeners here are going to have the same experience.
I hope so. And I hope a lot more, even in the medical field, the doctors, instead of going, hey, we're going to go to medications, let's say to lower cholesterol, because it runs a little bit higher in my family and I've had it. And it's funny because they're always, we're talking statins, and I'm like, no way. And last time I went, I get my blood work done, and it was just a little bit high LDLs, but I changed my diet, but I didn't have Bellway yet. So it'd be interesting to see my next blood work cycle if it's lower, but I decreased the fats I was eating, got more fiber, and my HDLs went up, LDLs went down, and the doctor was kind of shocked. So how did you do this? And I was like, it's simple. I just added more fiber and took away some fats from my diet, and it changed. But that's what I tell people who are maybe have lower HDLs, get on some good fiber, take some fats out, and you can increase and change your bad cholesterol, but increase your good cholesterol.
So many doctors are now switching over to fiber from the statins because there were, I want to say 5 to 10 years ago, it's also fairly recent, there were new studies coming out comparing fiber to statins, where fiber is not only natural, it also has zero side effect. And oftentimes it works better than the statins. So now more and more doctors are telling their patients to take Bellway super fiber as opposed to statins. And so statins really being the last resort if nothing worked. But first try it with fiber, and very often it works, and very often works even better because statins, I mean, once you're opening up a whole other kind of things once you're on those.
Yep. And it's cool because you said people are starting to steer away from statins because of all that can of worms that comes with it. And slowly and surely you guys are changing that realm to push this narrative of clean up your gut, get more fiber. This needs to be an everyday thing.
Yeah, every day. For me, every evening, sometimes every morning, really, you can try it out. You kind of need to see how much fiber you're getting in your regular diet, and then start with a scoop, see if that works. If it's not enough, go to 2 scoops, 3 scoops. It'll work very quickly. You'll know within a day.
For sure. I know we're kind of coming up on an hour here. Anything else that you want to get in or talk about?
Just tell everybody about fiber and gut health in general, even your family members. If you feel somebody is always grumpy, it may just be because that person is not getting enough fiber. So fiber. That's really all I would say.
Cool. Yeah, because when people do talk about the gut, they always have that follow-up. Well, what do you do? And for many years, now we have an answer. It's fiber and all this stuff. So people are like, oh, well, they didn't really have that answer. You need probiotics, you need prebiotics. And then they just just faded out. And I remember reading books on all this stuff, and it is fascinating, but the general population that they're not going to go read books on the gut microbiome we are. So just saying, hey, starting with fiber for the gut is number one. That is number one. Then you can go feed it and cultivate it. But like everything else in the body, you have to let it time for it to grow. But if there's no gut bacteria there to grow, there's no point of keep trying to put stuff in if you can't lay down almost like you're growing a field of grass, the seeds for it.
Yeah.
And that's what fiber is doing. And we really need to, especially in America, we need more every day.
Definitely more fiber for everything. So, and I love that we determined you 5 days a year.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm telling everybody now.
It's probably average 5 days, but probably even more for some people that are sitting there, whether waiting on it or scrolling through a phone. It's really like, how do you wait for that? And you're just wasting the time away when it should be something that this should be zero part of your day.
Yeah.
And I know that's good because people don't want to talk about it. And that's one thing I've always been interested in. And for me, I tell people I'm sure you Squatty Potty. I use one, people look at me and then they're like, I heard about this thing and it really works. And I'm like, yeah, I've been on this for a while because the whole gut health thing is very important to me because I went through my whole own journey of gut dysfunction. I wouldn't say it's crazy, but also you see a lot of these commercials for drugs with IBD and it's coming up. We are driving our systems from our poor dietary choices to have more IBS and IBD. And now it's almost like this is going to start coming up with diabetes. We're chasing this poor diet, poor health, when really they just need a couple scoops a day from you guys.
We can tell you, Orvin, we get so many emails also on a weekly basis from people who have IBS, Crohn's disease, and all of these things. And they're telling us they've been suffering for 20 years and nothing's worked. They tried everything and then they tried Bellway. And these people are really thanking us. One person just recently said, you saved my life. And I mean, all we do is we give you natural fiber. But that's what's so difficult. At least no other fiber supplements are natural. And yeah, I love reading all of these emails. Sometimes people go into too much detail almost, but all of there. But I'm so glad when I can see that we're really saving people's lives, how they would say.
And I'm sure you read some stuff, you're like, oh, I never thought about that. Or I hadn't thought about that in years, but this person's, it helped me. And when you hear those transformation stories, especially when it comes to someone with long-term health and they're getting flipped around, they're very grateful, especially when it comes to gut issues, because they're opening their whole world up to something new. And it's something that's going to stick with them forever, that habit routine. With that, it's sort of like these feel-good stories that sometimes people don't believe it until they actually have to go through it. But I would say people really need to try to heal their gut quicker and quicker. I mean, there's so many benefits to stuff. Half the stuff we really talk about. I mean, weight loss, you can increase muscle mass just by helping all the gut out. You can sometimes reverse certain type 2 diabetes from healing the gut and taking away certain foods to your diet. There's so many things just besides what we talked about today that are benefit from fiber.
Oh yeah. I mean, this podcast will probably go on for a few more hours. All the health benefits. Yeah, it's so easy. Just take it. You'll feel a difference the day after, and you're going to be so much more healthy.
Mm-hmm. And it's for some people. I don't know if I'm a little different. I work out and I'm pretty hungry, but this is, as you have the shake, I assume it's going to make you feel it's going to make you feel more full because you're getting that 100%. Fiber through. So if someone's looking to lose weight, or even maybe bodybuilders looking to cut down before a show, instead of just being like strict ice, they might have different advantages to taking a supplement to allow the system to get an adaptation that they want out of it.
100%. Fiber helps you manage your weight. But then we also have a lot of people who are now on these GLP-1s, Ozempic and whatnot.
Yep.
And that really messes with your gut big time. And now that's why so many doctors are now saying if you're on Ozempic or any other GLP-1, you should take Bellway with it to kind of substitute all the gut issues that you're getting.
And as I know we're coming up to an hour here, any further products on the line? Are you guys heading that trend down superfood fibers? That seems to be your bell house.
Everything we do is fiber. We want to be known as super fiber brand. Well, you'll maybe see us have fiber with more other things. Now we have the collagen with the fiber, but everything we do is going to be fiber. So we want to be the one-stop shop for clean fiber.
So whatever you guys make, it's going to have the fiber in it, no matter what.
100%.
Punch. Awesome. Bellway, where can we find you guys?
You can find us online on Amazon. You can find us on our own website.com, or just go to a store. Go to a Sam's Club, a Walmart, Sprout, Publix, HEB, Wegmans, CVS, and many more stores to come. Yeah, you'll see us more and more in all sorts of places.
And if people are looking to check you out on Instagram, it's at Get Bellway, the handle on Instagram.
Yes,
Facebook?
Bellway. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
I would tell people, yeah, let's just start there. Go see the comments. Go see what they have to offer, because that's I would say Instagram's a great platform for people just to kind of get some knowledge just off the bat of how people use it and what you guys offer. And there's a lot on your Instagram page. I mean, a lot of it is how to mix it, how to this, how to that, and people's testimonies, which is what you want. And it shows kind of this different side of fiber's not just Metamucil, this boring I don't say medication, but what Islet is in the CVS, Metamucil. It's just like this medication for treatment of stuff that you're not, but this is an everyday supplement that you can take for health, that you can take to heal your gut, that you can take when you're sick, that you can take whenever you want. And it doesn't have to be just a certain time.
100%. 100%. Take more fiber. I'm just going to repeat myself. Fiber, fiber, fiber.
Love it. Awesome. Well, that wraps us up.
Matt Gluckman and Eric Mencher here from Think Fitness Life. Our entire careers have been dedicated to fitness, particularly how the mind helps the body. We've been around gyms and nutrition strategies for 25 plus years collectively, and nothing harms or helps better than your own mind, untrained or trained. Pushing beyond your limits, overcoming whatever's thrown your way, and making the decision to show up day in and day out as a lifestyle takes more soul than sand. And what I mean by that is when you can get your mindset and heart leading you consistently in the direction of your goals and dreams, well, it's just a matter of time before you have the performance, physique, or quality of life you're yearning for. See, your thoughts will stem from your beliefs, which will then lead you to action, which develop into your behavior and ultimately lead you to results. It's really that simple. Our process takes time and it takes open communication. It's amazing what pops up along the fitness journey to betterment, and we can be there every step of the way. To learn more or apply for coaching, visit www.thinkfitnesslife.com. Start recreating your life today.